Hey, it's Scotty. Hey, it's Scotty and BB, and I'm here with Popeye, and I wanted to talk today about grease glands and sometimes what can happen to them and what to do about it. So sometimes the grease glands can get a little swollen or possibly infected, or maybe a cyst can develop. So let's take a look at that. I always recommend that you hold your piggies every day that you check them out. Hi, baby. And you're just looking for anything out of the ordinary, lumps and bumps, breathing issues, and things like that. And I noticed that Popeye, his grease gland was a little matted, so he's going to get a bath, and then we're going to clean that area, possibly shave around the grease gland, and there may be some funk in there. It may have turned into a little cyst in that area, and so I will see if it is something that needs to be possibly squeezed out, or maybe just some antibiotic ointment put on there, or maybe even he needs to be seen by a vet and needs antibiotics. I'm guessing that that's not the case. Most likely we just need to clean the area, maybe squeeze out some gunk, and then put some antibiotic ointment on it. So let's investigate that. This is often an area that goes unnoticed or neglected, and a lot of piggy owners, they just don't quite know much about the grease gland in general. So let's take a quick look, and then I'm going to give him a bath, clean up that area so we can really take a look. But let's just look and see what I was looking at. Yeah? Sound good to you, BB? BB, where are you going? Come here. Okay, let's do it. Right? You gonna help me? Okay. So upon first glance, you can't really see anything out of the ordinary. This right here is where the grease gland is. It's at the end of the tailbone. And oftentimes grease will build up, and there's kind of an opening here. This is where grease would build up, but what I'm seeing is swollen tissue and a lump that is sort of under the skin, but it feels like a cyst. So what I want to do is I want to use olive oil or mineral oil and a degreasing shampoo, really clean this area, maybe cut some of the hair around there so that we can then assess. And this was a little painful when I was kind of squeezing it and manipulating it. So you okay, Popeye? We got to be very conscious of if it hurts him, and if we can squeeze it without causing pain, then that's good. But we don't want to do anything that's going to cause him pain or really too much discomfort. But we don't want to necessarily leave this alone, but maybe a little antibiotic ointment and keeping a close eye on it over the next couple days or weeks is going to be all we need to do to heal it. So I'm going to clean the area, and let's just assess the situation a little bit better. So just a nice quick soak, scrubbing this area, trying to get off any of that grease gland grease, any dead skin. Letting it soak will really allow us to see what is inflamed underneath the skin and what is built up around it. So just let it soak. Any kind of shampoo that is going to cut the grease, cut greasy hair, that's going to be fine. So just working the area to try to clean it as much as possible. Even a little hand soap and water probably would be fine. Okay, so we just gave him a bath. Let's take a closer look at this thing now. I also was able to shave around the area, so let's take a look at it. So I don't want to hurt him too much either. Just squeezing. So this is probably right there. Here's the end of the tailbone. This is right here, the opening of the grease gland. And so I'm trying to feel what is there pus, is there gross stuff in here. I don't want to rupture something. If I can just clean it, put antibiotic ointment on it. So that's why I'm sort of manipulating it to see if possibly there's something that can easily come out. Doesn't seem to be the case. So if this was just an ingrown hair somewhere else on the body, you could probably apply minimal pressure and squeeze it out, but Saskia always says that frequently if you can't get everything out, the cyst will just come back. There's like a little sac around the cyst. So, and it does seem to be, he does seem to be somewhat sensitive. So this could also just be that there was grease that over time was clogging this, and now that the grease is free, this is going to start to heal. So is this really like an emergency? I'm not sure that it's an emergency, but clearly there is some swollen stuff, a little bit of an infection. At this point, I'm kind of, so you see I'm not squeezing, I'm just, so like what is that lighter stuff in there? Is that possibly like a crusty cap of some stuff that might be able to come out? So at this point, I'm kind of inclined to want to, you okay? How you doing? How you doing, Popeye? Handsome boy. What are you doing over here, BB? Okay, let's keep going. Don't confuse the grease gland with the perennial sac. The grease gland and the grease that it produces doesn't really smell like much. If anything, it smells like a candle or beeswax. It is the perennial sac or grease gland that has been known to produce those very funky smells. We got the good sunlight behind us. So there's some white stuff. It's okay. So you see how we're being very patient, very gentle. Don't try to escape, Popeye. I'm starting to feel kind of sensitive. So like right there, that lighter area. So I'm just kind of manipulating, seeing if anything. I know. Okay. Oh, you're not helping me, BB. All these folds and stuff are kind of raw, kind of swollen. There may or may not be pus under here, or it may just be that the tissue itself is inflamed and that there's nothing to actually squeeze out. Because if there's nothing to squeeze out and this is just actually the opening of this tissue is inflamed, then rupturing it could cause a lot more, damage. It could cause an infection. So see, I'm just working this because this is basically a round hole. This is like, should be a very small opening where the grease usually comes out, and sometimes what happens is the grease will plug up this hole, and so that may have been what happened. But it's very raw down here. It's not bloody, but it is red. So I think we're just going to put some antibiotic ointment on there. He's going to get extra vitamin C for the next couple weeks. Okay? And we will just assess the situation. I will do a follow-up video about this. Now, just like any lumps, bumps, cysts, this is not an abscess. This is a cyst. This is an inflamed grease gland. So you want to watch out. If this was to grow and get bigger, then it would be time to go to the vet. And if you have trouble getting a vet appointment, then you might just make one for a week or two in advance, and then if you have to cancel it, then that's fine if your piggy's doing better. But sometimes the vet will just see it, and maybe the vet wants to give antibiotics or something like that, you know, and you can in and out real quick. They'll just say, this is what I think we can do, and it's going to be a home treatment. Maybe the vet would try to lance it and clean it out. But I think in a situation like this, being less invasive is going to be the best course of action at this point. Keeping it clean, watching it. So I hope this got you thinking about an area that you generally maybe haven't thought about as much. It's important to keep that grease gland clean. It's important to feel around there. And if you do feel any inflammation, anything swollen, then look at this handsome boy. Then you want to take appropriate action. You okay, BB? You ready for lunch? You ready? Come here. All right. Well, I will include my entire illness playlist. You want to just be thinking, the more illnesses you know about, the more in general things that you know about that can possibly be issues, the quicker you will be to respond to them. So thank you guys for watching. If you found this beneficial, really do hit that like button. It will help the channel. It will help videos like this reach more people and help more piggies. So thank you guys so much. Until next time, thanks for watching.